So we have talked about present, past, and future tense. We've also talked about those perfect tenses where you are using a helping verb like has, have, had, or will have, and a past tense verb. And this week we're going to talk about irregular verbs, because remember, to make normal verbs present tense, you just add an S. If the subject is singular and you don't add an S, if it is plural, to make it past tense, you add an ED. Now, these irregular verbs are not going to follow those patterns, right? So you have to write in the present participle, and in the past tense, it's going to become a whole new word. And then some of them in the past participle, so when you make them a perfect tense, they become a whole new word as well. So you have to be really careful. These are ones that you basically just have to memorize. So in this chart, you'll see that some of it has been filled in for you. So we're going to go through and fill out the rest. So the verb, if the present participle is being, the verb is be. And so be is the base verb. The present participle is being. The is in parentheses because it depends on your subject. So you have to have subject-verb agreement. If the subject is she, so she is being a brat, you would use is. But if the subject is they, so it's something plural, it would become are. So they are being brats, right? Now in the past tense, we do not add ed to be. Instead, it becomes a whole new word. So was. So she was a student in the past. And then the past participle is going to be has been. So it becomes a whole new word in the past tense with the past participle. And again, has is in parentheses because depending on your subject, it might also be have. So she has been late to class. They have been late to class. Now the next one, they give you the past tense, which is did. So the present tense of did is the verb do. The present participle is where we're going to add is or are, and then ing, so is doing. So she is doing her homework. They are doing their homework. In the past tense, it becomes did, so you would not say dude and add an ed to dude. It's did, so she did her homework yesterday. And then the past participle is has done. So it becomes a whole new word. So she has done her homework already, or they have done their homework already. Now the next one, they give you the past participle, which is has driven, and the base verb for that is drive. So the present participle is in parentheses because it might be are, driving, and on that you're going to drop the e and add ing. The past tense, though, is not drived. It becomes a whole new word, drove. So she is driving the car. They are driving the car. She drove the car. And then in the past participle, it becomes has driven. So you don't say has drove. It becomes a whole new word. So she has driven the car. They have driven the car. Next, they give us the verb, which is speak. So the present participle is speaking, so we add ing. So she is speaking to the class. They are speaking to the class. And in the past tense, it's not speaked, so we don't add an ed. It's irregular, so it becomes a whole new word, spoke. So she spoke to the class. And then in the past participle, so if we add a helping verb like has, it becomes has spoken. So it's not has spoke, it's has spoken. So she has spoken to the class. They have spoken to the class. And last, they give us the past tense wrote. So the present tense of that verb is write. The present participle is, and again, you're going to drop that E at ing, so is writing. She is writing her paper. They are writing their papers. She wrote the paper yesterday. And then in the past participle, it's has, and it's not has wrote in the past tense. It becomes a whole new word. So it's has written. So that would be she has written the paper before, or they have written the paper before. Okay, so these are some irregular verbs. They are not all of the irregular verbs. So for irregular verbs, they're not going to follow that normal pattern of adding ed in the past tense, and then in the perfect tenses, when you add has, have, had, will have, they become whole new words. So these are ones that you just have to memorize as you encounter them.